Hello everyone and welcome back from the good long lunch break. I hope you've stretched your legs and relaxed a bit, because now we have a couple more presentations to come. And I would like to welcome our first afternoon speaker, Leszek Seifert, who's going to guide us through the talent management updates. So Lexa, are you here with us? Do we have you on the line?
Yes, ready to go.
All right, so you can start sharing your screen.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great.
So you're good to start. Thank you.
Great. So hello everyone. I'm Leszek Seifert. I will be your presenter today for talent and performance management. And then is previous parts. You're welcome to post questions, and we might be able to come back to you on those either straight away after or after the event. A few words about me. I come from soft part of HR, but now for last 3 years with Tieto. I've been mostly working with talent and data management modules. I will be also in our team taking care of the new Workday employee engagement solution, Peakon, that I will also talk later more about. As usual, the safe harbor statement. But before I go through agenda, just a few words about my approach here. There are two presentations. One very detailed, touching upon all the updates with screenshots and all the necessary information that you have received from Katrin. I hope it will be very useful when you implement changes or prepare training materials. And the second one I'm going to use today. It's a lighter version so that we can actually focus on the major aspects of and of course, demo where it's possible. So what we have for today, that presentation will cover 4 main areas. First, I will demonstrate major updates on feedback, especially the quantitative feedback. Second, I will move to Peakon. It is this new Workday employee engagement solution platform. Third, the Career Hub. And since it's a kind of brand new functionality, instead of going through updates only, I will present from scratch the key aspects and the benefits of the solution. Then I will talk about a Workday strategic roadmap for talent optimization. And if we still have time, I have doubts for that, I might quickly go through also some other miscellaneous changes. So the first thing first is feedback. It's a pretty huge enhancement. We get now so-called quantifiable feedback. But let's just go to our test environment and see how actually it looks. So when you use the create feedback template, you can actually choose nowadays 5 different question types. So we have date, multiple choice select, multiple choice single select. Those are the quantifiable elements, number and text. Second kind of thing, Workday changed tasks and reports to differentiate between kind of feedback and employee reviews, with feedback and with the question sections. So now we have firstly questions for feedback and feedback section on employee review, and secondly questions for the question sections on employee review templates. So all the details, of course, you can find in the PDF I provided, but kind of most important that you will use are the for the feedback are the manage feedback question, report, the create feedback template, and the configure feedback template when you want to edit something there. And at the same time, we have tasks for questions. So for the question sections on employee review templates, now you will use the maintain review questions. Maintain review questions and maintain review categories. But let's go back now to actually the report that is pretty useful and you might be kind of starting with. It's the the manage feedback questions. So with this release, you can now edit feedback question names even after you actually use the question in the feedback templates, or also in the feedback section on the employee review template. So for example, you can see here this one is being used in one of the employee reviews, and you can actually go to edit the question name. Of course, you can't do the body, but you can do it with the question name. You can also change the question tags. Another thing, for those that use the guided tours, there's also change of the name that will kind of pop up in a number of feedback tasks. So let's go to actually guided tours. Let's go to configure guided tours. Let's try get feedback myself. And as you can see here, we have this is from the kind of configuration point of view, have the make feedback anonymous. So it kind of it used to be, I think, show names on workers who gave feedback. Now it's kind of much simpler. It's make feedback anonymous. We can also take a look how it looks actually from the point of view of the user. So now I'm logged in as a manager. So user is logged on my new test environment, and I will try to get feedback on myself. Let's do this. And as you can see, there's now this checkbox make feedback anonymous. What's also kind of important here is that Workday also renames here the prompt question. It used to be from workers, and now it is who do you want to request feedback from. So some items, it seems that get shorter, some longer, but as you perfectly know, it's a never-ending story with Workday. Also. You can also edit nowadays again as when we configure, but also as a user you can edit the question body. You can do it for date, number, and text, but not for the quantifiable type. So let's try, for example, here is the special communication skills. This is a number type. So this one you can actually change here. What if I choose, for example, here's this communication competency. This is a multiple choice, so it's a quantifiable one, and here you can't change the question as a user. So those are the major kind of changes in the quantifiable feedback. Again, all the kind of detailed information plus screenshots and configuration steps are available in the PDF. Let's go back to the presentation. So apologies. So finally, Workday is providing employee engagement services. So I guess that some of you know that at the beginning of the year, Workday has completed acquisition of a company named Peakon. And the way they kind of portray themselves is that they are a continuous listening platform with kind of real-time visibility into employee experience, sentiment, productivity. However, before I go to the actual services that Workday and Peakon now is planning to provide, a couple of words maybe about employee engagement itself, and I believe that might be actually helpful for you to also understand the platform itself. So a small chart here. Employee engagement in general is like two major things at the same time. So it's a leading HR concept, but also a kind of a buzzword that that is used in all kinds of different contexts. So there are plenty of definitions, some better, some worse. But with this graph, I will try to really kind of my best to simplify it. So in short, employee engagement is this kind of cognitive and affective state. So how you feel and how you think that activates in an employee certain job-related behaviors. So how you behave. So again, it encompasses how you feel, how you think, and behave about and at work. So what's more, it is driven by certain balance between resources. So for example, what kind of job we do, who's your manager, and also job demands. So hindrances like bureaucracy or challenges like really interesting, challenging project. Peakon itself calls all those things drivers, but this is just a question of vocabulary. What is important? The idea is that the high employee engagement results in proactive behavior, role expansion, persistence, adaptability, etc. And of course, this in turn affects the business performance. And for example, they have been plenty of research on lower absenteeism, high productivity, customer satisfaction, and so on. And now again, why I'm mentioning those aspects? I'm mentioning those because Peakon as a platform looks at employee engagement as a whole. So from resources or demands through engagement per se, so feelings, cognitive aspects, behaviors, and finally how it actually affects the company itself. So a couple of interesting kind of elements here. They use, of course, engagement score. So that's how they measure the engagement by a number of questions, organizations choose. There are, of course, different companies, different industries. Some are more blue collar, some are more kind of research oriented. So it is very important to pick the relevant questions during the implementation period. And here, of course, the Peakon or the Peakon's partners step in to help you with that. It is actually the UI itself. It's very user friendly. It's very clear. If you don't understand some terms, sorry, there's a question mark over here, for example, engagement score, participation, and they provide pretty clear answers, understandable, by common HR professional or manager, depending on the access. It really takes also very short time to kind of learn how to use it. I did actually all the free certifications for managers, for HR partners, and for admins within 2 days. So it's a completely different kind of story than with Workday certifications. Another thing, I mentioned job demands and resources. They called here drivers. Here you can see on the left typical drivers that are behind the engagement. So basically the platform evaluates which ones are critical. In here you have priorities, which basically need to be developed, and which are your strengths, or which are basically not relevant for your company. Beside the platform itself, they also offer plenty of data, so they have collected, probably they also bought. So when you're benchmarking, you can actually compare your employees with very similar cases. So, for example, by industry, tenure, role, age, location, there are plenty of possibilities. This is pretty important thing. Peakon uses currently the GetWorker web service, so which is, for those who know, the integration part, not ideal and may cause some workarounds. It's a bit difficult to monitor transactions because you can't really see all the information in Workday. You can just see them in Peakon right now. Also, certain processes like recent hire might also be somewhat problematic, of course, depending on your configuration. What I know right now is that there will be a new web service only for Peakon. There's really no for now fixed date for that. So I heard rumors that still this year, but you might need to take this into account when thinking about actually implementing it. What else? Hierarchy. This is actually pretty nice because Peakon is using very similar approach to what is in Workday. So copying it from the system should really not pose a very complex issue. Probably kind of that many managers still forget that that scores on satisfaction, commitment, engagement, they are not really enough. So and to really understand the employees, it is also important to absorb the qualitative data. Of course, everybody would like to have the one-to-one meetings, but the written feedback it can be also actually pretty good gold mine of ideas about employees. So with Peakon, Workday is putting again and again emphasis on feedback and its analysis. Peakon itself as a company they are pretty well known for actually very advanced way of getting the insights using AI and natural language processing. So I would say that the kind of the current policy and campaign towards kind of improving feedback and getting the pick on, they really go hand in hand here. So based on the analysis and all the, of course, benchmark information, of course, the platform also recommends solutions or certain kind of actions for especially managers, like, for example, learnings. So a bit also similar approach here. This is actually a very interesting part. So at the end, you can actually apply all this collected data and see what is the actual impact of engagement on sales, customer satisfaction, absenteeism. So here, for example, you can see a regression analysis that shows that an increase. You can see here details. An increase in the engagement score by 1 is associated with a 1.31 decrease in absenteeism. So there is really kind of clear kind of negative correlation. I think this is a major question. Is it really worth? Is it something that you should already now consider before the changes? So I personally find that the platform really potent and very user-friendly. I have plenty actually of experience with the employee engagement area itself. It really gives very insightful information. You know, what is happening with the employees, why it is happening, how it affects the company. That is to say, there are issues. They were especially reported by our integration consultants that definitely need to be looked into before making any decisions. As a side note, I would say that employee engagement is kind of from both, you know, all kind of psychological research methods, platform usage point of view, you know, my utmost favorite area. So if you would like to get more information, and please, you know, then on this topic, please connect with me. You have their email address, and please feel free to contact me on that. Okay, so next thing is Career Hub. I have really tried my best to get the preview access already now for the Career Hub, so that I could demonstrate those this new solution. Unfortunately, Workday hasn't provided that, and hopefully they will do it for their partners as soon as possible, because at least what I have, the way I have researched it, it's actually very worthwhile looking at least at. So Career Hub, it's a development platform that is designed entirely from the point of view of employees. So it's employee-centric, and it has a kind of, we should focus here on 3 primary things, so that the employee can discover career opportunities, they can plan their steps, and they can explore the relevant skills and also jobs within the organization. For those who kind of have a bit of already knowledge about the talent marketplace, talent marketplace is much more kind of market functionality, I would even say. So demand and supply to find the right candidates for opportunities, to optimize the talent resources. Career Hub is again, you know, employee-centric. It's supposed to help employees to develop their career the way they really want it. So to start with, what happens when you enter the system? Unfortunately, again, I cannot demonstrate it, but at least with the some kind of screenshots that I found in community, I can at least try to present you how it actually works for a user. Basically, what happens when an employee enters on the Career Hub? They are firstly asked to define their skills, their current skills. Down here you can see suggested skills. So these are skills that kind of we think would be a good fit for your profile based on your profile information, and these suggestions are also kind of inferred using the machine learning functionality. The second thing is is to select the career focus. So we might say that the Career Hub would like to know if you want to grow in your role or to go beyond it, or you can be, of course, open to both of those. Then you select your job profiles that you're interested in. You can also go ahead and actually add a few more skills, interests. So kind of to build up this information base so that the machine learning functionality actually has enough information to probably make the suggestions for all kinds of different features in the future. Finally, you're asked about the gigs. So basically to kind of estimate how much time would you kind of on the top of what you are doing currently, you could spend weekly on for example, using this kind of gig experience. Then you enter, of course, your personal current experience is ready, and next time when you, of course, log in, this is not yet anymore there. Just to repeat again, there are those three aspects: suggestions, plan, and explore. Suggestions for you is the section to find the personalized career development opportunities. The plan is to track specific career development actions, and the explore is to view the kind of the potentially impactful skills. So let's see how it looks when you enter it. So when you go to the main page, on the left-hand side, you have a series of options. They allow you to navigate pretty clearly. So there's suggestions for you. Is kind of again the overview of all the suggestions. You have networking opportunities, as suggesting connections, mentorships. You have so-called experiences. So those are basically gigs that the company needs help with, or as well gigs that help you to develop, especially the skills that you have indicated. Also, you have learnings, internal jobs. On the part, basically you can materialize and then track the suggested actions, and there are, of course, here those three basic statuses to do, pending, and completed. Finally, the explore feature again is mainly about skills your company is currently hiring for, those that help you grow in your current role, and those that kind of can help you to get your dream or your next kind of job. What else you can find here? I can see down here are the quick links. The quick links are they allow you to see your development items. You can review your feedback. You can check your current gigs, see current job applications. Of course, the opportunity graph can be very relevant, and your preferences for the opportunity marketplace and the Career Hub itself. This is pretty interesting. So when you use the explore part in here, you can go to your next move. So there are actually job postings available, of course, internally that have been suggested based on, of course, your profile and all the kind of information you have provided initially. So here is the example of the customer service representative. So you can see the description of the job, some additional details. But what is critical here? Here on the top page, on the top right, you can see the match analysis, which kind of shows the breakdown of the skills and other information that are missing or possible learnings that you might be required. So here, for example, for this job, I'm not in the correct location, but on the other hand, I have the correct degree. I have the needed language. I have one of the kind of the requested certifications. So there are, of course, many things you need to consider before kind of jumping into the Career Hub, even though, again, Career Hub, Talent Marketplace, Skills Cloud, those are the features that nowadays Workday is putting the most emphasis on in the talent optimization area. But of course, you need the innovation services agreement and the talent optimization SKU itself. You need the Skills Cloud in production. You must also deploy a minimum set of features. Again, all those options and all this information kind of in a detailed manner are available in the PDF that has been provided to you. Also, to take kind of the full advantage of Career Hub, it's kind of advisable to have learning and recruiting. Phase X is probably most suitable for that, and also importantly, kind of for now it's only available in English, and hopefully it will, at least according to plans, will change next year. So now a couple of words what might be happening in the talent area in the future. This is unfortunately very fluid, and it's difficult to really track down what changes are happening, which are kind of already kind of set to go, which are just viewed as the potentials. But I have really tried to go into what is kind of being said also in community and by Workday to all kinds of questions, and also kind of compare it with the official roadmap that they have been providing, I think at the end of June this year. So of course, skills are again the kind of the key thing that they're focusing on, as I mentioned. So there was supposed to be the kind of the main kind of enhancement for kind of the converting synonymous skills. This has been postponed, and probably it's going to be now in the release 2+ this year. Some of you might be familiar with this functionality. So right now, Workday finds exact match. And then the kind of the protocol converts tenanted skill into the cloud, but it has to be a text match. But what they are planning to do, they will now enhance it so that it kind of it looks beyond the exact text matches and taking advantage of actually AI and machine learning functionality. Also, what as was promised, we get more languages available. And again, unfortunately, Finnish is not yet there, which is a big disappointment. I was really counting on this this release, they are at least saying that it's going to be available at the beginning of next year. So I really cross fingers for that. But probably, if you can, please inquire also at Workday and make sure that that's going to be the case. Workday also, as you can see, plans to enhance the reporting capabilities in general. Skills verification. So today in skills verification, Workday basically offers ability to show users context as kind of as how you have earned your skill. So like job history, like learning courses, certification, the feedback you have got. So basically, they're gonna be focusing on improving it, kind of blending together with the new functionality, the skill level, with kind of broader also evidence for the skill save. So Workday is planning to introduce this skill level feature, which is kind of this sort of metric-oriented skill reporting. So it's similar to this kind of approach with the quantifiable feedback, and it's supposed to be also available through the feedback. And this should come with this update, but unfortunately, it's not yet available in the preview. And for this reason, I couldn't have tested it and kind of confirm how it works and whether it actually works. Also in the future, Workday is planning to kind of leverage more kind of on more structured assessments, also with learnings. So and quizzes and assessments for Workday learning should also be here, kind of taken advantage of. People analytics. So if you actually subscribe, it is a separate SKU to people analytics. For those who don't know what is people analytics, it's kind of sort of augmented kind of analytics technology. So it basically helps you to kind of get the key metrics, key business trends, and in case of skills, it means basically that you might be able to even drill in more detail and to see even more aspects behind and create kind of nice visualizations and find the trends of the other skills. I myself, I haven't been really using it, so I don't really have any very detailed kind of insight about that. So we have already looked into that Workday, into the quantifiable or quantitative feedback. What is pretty kind of nice is this, at least the way they are showing, is this redesigned feedback providers. I looked into some videos and some slides, and at least it looks pretty nice. Also might be useful to kind of use this mass feedback operation if you want to basically just start it for a number of employees. Skills and feedback. Again, disappointing thing, they are not yet available in the preview. So again, I wasn't able to test it, but again, sounds a very useful step. And some people say it's kind of a part of the so-called Workday skill revolution. And again, the mass feedback initiation operation. What's more, talent marketplace gigs. a couple of words about gigs for those maybe who are not familiar. They are basically like short-term assignments. And again, as I mentioned before, they they represent the demand side of the talent marketplace solution. So as a manager, I can create a gig. I can view how a person matches the opportunities. I can add folks to my gig after the gig has been completed. I can provide feedback. Now, Workday is really focusing on the user experience, on the translations, on the machine learning. What they want to do in the future, they want to provide actually a gig partner role. So they would be able to assist the gig hosts, who are mainly the managers, and also, which is I think pretty valuable, they want to provide them gigs, the gigs roles with a specific skills. So when the host creates a gig, he can specify different roles and different skill sets for those roles. So beforehand, it was the list of skills that were required for all the gig users. But in the future, you might be able to actually specify a role for, I don't know, researcher, project manager, I don't know, secretary, whatever your pleases. So more the differentiation of the skills per role. Also, of course, in the as I mentioned before, in the next releases, the Career Hub will be the centerpiece of talent development. I would say, especially when it comes to languages. Again, so far, as in the talent marketplace, they're offering now Finnish for the next release. With the Career Hub, there's no mention of Finnish. There will be other languages, as you can see. They're mentioned as probable developments. One important change that I would pay attention to if you're thinking about introducing the Career Hub is actually the fact that now you can only use it for the employees, but with the next release or in the future, they haven't be precise about this. You will be able to also use it for the contingent workers. So couple of more things. That translations, again, this is something that I'm very disappointed with, but hopefully really Finnish is going to be a part of the next release. That's what they are saying. And again, please connect with Workday on this if you find it very relevant for your company. The match analysis interface. So there will be this functionality that you can hover on this and get this, but it's only for the Career Hub customers. So it was not available in the feature in preview for our test environment. So I can't really recommend this or give you any advice. Skill verification I have already mentioned. This is gonna be the skill level feature. It's supposed to be available now in the beginning of September. Hopefully it's gonna be there, and after this we can actually evaluate how well it works. There are a couple of miscellaneous enhancements. Purge data, I think, is one of those that could be pretty relevant. So I would say that those for you who haven't been working with data purging for either active or terminated employees, you know well that this area is requires a lot of development, and there are plenty of limitations, and actually, there's still all kinds of data that you can't purge. But with this update, you get kind of one more possibility. It is possibilities about assess potential data, so relevant from the talent point of view. Maybe for those who haven't been actually using the purge part, I will shortly demonstrate, excuse me, how it actually works. So basically, what you need to do initially is to create a custom report. I have already created this in advance for this demonstration. Let me find it. So when you create this report, it is very important to use the relevant data source. In this case, I used the all activated and terminated employees. You should also use the report tags purge in here. So in columns, of course, you set whatever information you need. In your case, in my case, I just wanted to purge one particular team. In fact, one person in the team. Then you set the filter. And here I indicated, of course, the sub org and this one actually employee that whose data I wanted to kind of purge as an example. So after you have configured the report, you go to purge data, purge person data, apologies, task. You find your report in here. So you can also use here purge plans, but this is a bit different functionality. Basically, what is happening here, this data is now all kind of possible areas are pre-selected, but you need this only for the active worker data because this is what this actually update works for. So you just use the purge active worker data only. Then you need to check whether, in fact, there are any areas pre-checked for you, because I actually came across that there is one. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's a bug or what is the reason, but it is pre-selected. So let's check the yes value. And for some reason, you get the recruiting communication pre-selected. So of course, you don't want to purge any data that is related to recruiting in case you do only the employee potential area. So you just deselect this. Let's do it here. And then you find assess potential. You select the area. Then after you selected, you need to choose certain period. So for example, I can choose the all kind of on or before today. Press OK. And basically you confirm and run it. I have already run it for this employee, so there would be any data available, but I have checked it and it works pretty nice. All the data on the assess workers potential is actually purged. So I would, there are of course some other miscellaneous changes, but they are really very detailed and really not worth to look into right now. So I would finish my presentation on this. Thank you very much for your time, and I really hope that the materials that I have also created for you in advance will be helpful. So I will give now the voice to Christina.
All right, thank you very much, Lexa. Actually, we have some tiny technical problem here. Okay, all right, now you should be able to see me. So thank you very much, Lexa, for your presentation. And actually, we have now spare 10 minutes. So I would like to announce a short coffee break, and we are going to meet again at 2 o'clock.